So we'll wait for other few minutes, because a lot of people are going to join in today's class, this session in webinar. So once all the people will join, we'll start at in our scheduled time. Yeah.
I'm the host.
Hey, hello. Am I audible now? Subhashish, I guess, right? If I'm audible, please let me know in the chat. So I'll wait for 2 minutes more, and then we'll start the session. I think we have a couple of people joined in the session. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the confirmation. Okay, so I was on mute, Subhashish. That is why I think आपको आवाज नहीं आ रही होगी. But yes, sharp at 3:02 we'll start the session. Hey, welcome Sambhavi, Dikshita, Jagdish, Jai Kishan, Swapna. So we have 1 minute left. Then we'll start the session. Okay, so let's start. Okay, I think we can start now. We have a lot of people joined in the session. So hi all and welcome to TranZact Tally Integration webinar. And just to start with an introduction, I think some of the people might know me. So my name is Shabib Karjikar and I handle customer success here at TranZact. Okay, and if I talk about the topic of today's webinar, I think again some of the people might aware of the Tally integration because they were doing in some of the things in Tally integration, and some of the people are very new to Tally integration. Okay, so this session is a generic session to explain you about the basic setup of Tally integration, and how we can flow the data from TranZact to Tally, okay, in a very seamless way, and how we can run the automation here, how we can reduce the manual effort, which is how we can reduce the manual effort in flowing the data from TranZact to Tally. That is the agenda of this call. Okay, and for this, I've created a small presentation also where I'll show you out what all things we are going to cover in today's session. So I'll share my screen in a few minutes, and I'll start the presentation. But before that, a couple of things to note down here in the session. There is some issues with my Zoom account, so it might be possible the meeting will get end in 40 minutes. So if the session got extended, you have to again join on the same link. Okay, that is the first thing which I want to share with you all. If the meeting got disconnected in 40 minutes, so you have to again join the same link. Okay. Second is, I'll keep the session in English, but also I'll explain you the very important and crucial points in Hindi as well, so that a lot of people will get a more clarification, right, on each and everything. So Hindi में भी रखेंगे और English में will continue the session. ठीक है? So yeah, so I'll share my screen and I'll start with a small presentation first, what is all about in today's session, and then we'll go with the main process of Tally integration. So I'll share my screen. 1 second. Okay. So I hope my screen is visible to all. Okay. So this is a topic of today's webinar, which is TranZact Tally integration. Now, if I talk about the benefits of Tally integration, right? Why we have to do Tally integration? Okay. So if you are using a TranZact and Tally, both the system, right? So as you all aware about, okay, okay, in Tally we do a final accounting, right? We do a GST filing, we do a balance sheet creation in Tally, right? But we flow the data of all the direct expenses, be it all the purchase invoice, sales invoice, credit note, debit note, right? And the payment entries from TranZact to Tally. Okay, so first, the one of the best benefit of having this integration is that you don't need to do a double entries, right? Okay, whether you are creating the invoice in TranZact also, and the same invoice we have to create in Tally as well. So there is no need of creation of double entries here in if you are using Tally and TranZact both the system. So if you are using in TranZact, you can in a seamless way you can flow the data from TranZact to Tally. Second is the data gets when the data gets transferred from TranZact to Tally, so you can define the ledgers, right? So it sits in the ledger. Okay, जो ledger आपको चाहिए होता है जहां पे वो data flow कराना होता है, so automatically once we do the ledger mapping, it gets flowed into that ledger. So there will be no issues in accounting as well. Okay, when you do a final accounting on a monthly filing, right? So you should have the proper data with you. That is what the data gets migrated here in the ledger what we have chosen or what we have defined into TranZact. Okay, second is work in sync. Okay, as you know, right, we can create all the vouchers here in TranZact, and in just 5 minutes or even just 2 minutes of your time you can just sync the data right from TranZact to Tally. Okay, and fourth one is reducing a manual errors. Again, if you're doing a double entry, right, some of the people I know, right, they are creating the invoices in TranZact as well, and also they are doing in Tally as well. So there is a chances of error between creation of invoice, right? Okay, let's say we have the invoice which is in TranZact having some, let's say the round off issues, but in Tally let's say we don't have that issues. So that round off calculation, that mismatch calculation will cause an issue, right? Well, when we do the filing of our final GST. Right. So there are some of the benefits. That is why if you are using TranZact and Tally both the system, so integration is must, and we have to start with this whole process. Okay. Coming up to the initial setup, right? So first I'll go in this flow. Okay, what is the initial setup required for the integration? कौन सी चीजें हैं जो कि integration में is must to have, right? और you can say कि ये सबसे पहले करना ही पड़ेगा अगर आपको integration करना है तो. So we have three things in the initial setup. Okay, one is the Chrome extension. So for flowing the data from TranZact to Tally, we have a Chrome extension जहां से data flow होता है. Okay, so first we have to install that Chrome extension. So I'll show you out how we can install that Chrome extension. Second is the TDL file. So TDL file is Tally programming language file, right? Okay, which we have to place into Tally. And this is important and required because with the help of using this file only, we keep a track of each and every voucher जो कि data flow हुआ है, जो data flow नहीं हुआ है. तो वो सारा जो track होता है, उस सबका जो log होता है. So that is, we get to know only if the TDL file is present into Tally. अगर ये TDL file if this TDL file is not present in the Tally, then we won't be able to keep a log of all the vouchers. So if let's say if there is an error in any of the voucher, so we won't be able to track it. What was the error exactly? On which data has been flown. So that is something which is very important. Okay, to avoid such errors, we have to place the TDL file into Tally. Again, how to place that TDL file in Tally, how to get that TDL file from TranZact, I'll show you out on my screen, on my TranZact profile. And the third and the last thing in the initial setup, which is required, which is ledger mapping. Okay, again, ledger mapping, some of you are aware of the terminology of the TranZact, right? Okay, ledger kisko bolte, right? So in Tally, right? Okay, when we are using a Tally, we create a ledgers, right? Purchase ledgers, sales ledgers, duties and taxes ledgers, discount ledgers, round off ledgers, right? TDS ledgers, TCS ledgers, right? So all this, we have all these fixed ledgers into Tally. The same ledgers, we have to map it here in TranZact. Okay, that's a one-time setting which is required if we want to start this integration. So these are the three things, okay, which is initially required or which we have to set up before starting the integration process. Now coming to how to add the Chrome extension, how to place the TDL file, and how to map the ledger. For this, what I'll do is I'll switch my screen to my TranZact profile and I'll show you out how to get this thing done. Okay, so I'll just go to my Chrome profile. So now the first, yeah. So this is my TranZact profile. Okay, I have logged into my profile. It's a demo profile, and I'm on the homepage of TranZact. So now the first thing is to download the Chrome extension. How to download that extension? Okay, so to download that, okay, you can just open a new tab, okay, in your Chrome. Okay, and here you can just Google Chrome. One second, sorry. Google Chrome Web Store. Okay, बस आपको यहाँ पे ये डालना है Google Chrome Web Store. Okay, or you can just write Chrome Web Store. And if you will click on Google Chrome Web Store, you will get a multiple options here, where the first page will show you out Chrome Web Stores. So you have to simply click on this Chrome Web Stores. Okay, so when you click on this Chrome Web Store, here you will get the list of all the extensions, right? Okay, which is there on the Google Chrome. Okay, now here on the left hand side, again on the top left, we have the option to search the store. So there are like multiple extensions present in the Google Chrome Web Store, right? So we have to find for TranZact Tally integration. So if I'll search here only TranZact, okay, I'll just put TranZact here, okay, and I'll just enter it. Okay, it will show you only one extension. Here you can see TranZact Tally integration. Okay, now it is already added in my profile. Okay, I've already added in my profile in my Chrome, right? Okay, that is why it is showing here the added button, the green color, here, the stage, you can see here the status is added. If it is not added in your profile, here on the right hand side, you will get an option to add your Chrome. Okay, so you have to just simply click on that button and that extension will get added in your Chrome profile. And you can see here in the extension option on the top right side. Okay, if you see on your Chrome browser, on the top right, we have this extension button here. So when you click on this extension, you will get the list of all the extension which is loaded in your Chrome profile. So in my profile, I have only loaded one extension, which is TranZact Tally integration. So this is how, you have to add this is the first and, a very important step for the integration is to download the Chrome web extension. Okay, so I hope you have got this and we have created small videos also. So after this session, right, we'll share that video as well, okay, how to download the Chrome extension. Okay, so when the extension is added, right, okay, simply you have to go here and you have to click here on TranZact Tally integration extension. Okay, now when you click on this extension, okay, it asks you, one second, I'll log out once again, I'll sign out first. Yeah, so this is how, it shows you a profile, or you can see a modal where you have to log in with your TranZact credentials. Okay, so I think every accountant, every users, right, every owner or every users of TranZact have their own credentials, right? So if you are doing if you want to do Tally integration from your profile, okay, then you have to log in with your TranZact user ID and the TranZact password. Okay, so let's say I log in with my profile, which I have already logged in here into this profile, right? This TranZact page. Okay, so I've logged in with my demo profile. So I will go to my extension here and I will log in with the same account, akhil.demo @letstransact.com. I'll put my password here. Then I'll click on sign in. Now, once you sign in here, okay, now it shows you, an extension shows you, okay, how Tally is connected, now how, what is this, right? Exactly, it is not familiar. If anyone is not familiar with this page, right? Okay, so when we are doing an integration, we have to open our Tally as well in the background. Okay, so if you see on my screen, I have already loaded one company in my Tally. Okay, this is the Tally Prime. I'm using it here. Okay, and this is FCB Tech company I'm using into my Tally. So I have to log in into my Tally account when I have to select that company जिसमें मुझे data migrate करना है. Remember this, which is again a very crucial thing, because a lot of people in Tally using multiple companies. They have created multiple folders, multiple books, right? Okay, but we have to select that company जहाँ पे data flow करना है. So here, if I have a multiple companies, I have to select that company जहाँ पे I want my data to get migrated. So here in my profile, okay, I've selected FCB Tech in Tally. Okay, that is why, okay, if it is there in the, if this Tally is open in my background, so once you log into this Chrome extension, you will see here, okay, it gets synced automatically, it gets connected. Okay, and here it is showing me one warning, which is Tally company mismatch. Okay, the company connected is via Tally is FCB Tech. Again, it might possible, right? Okay, the name of the company in TranZact is different, and the name of the company in Tally is different because a lot of people use in Tally, let's say FCB Tech 2022, 2023, right? So you have the option to manage the names of the company, right? In Tally, also in TranZact, right? But here it is showing you, okay, yeah, this is the name of the company in Tally, and this is the name of the company in TranZact. Okay, if it is okay, you have to simply click on continue here. Okay, but again, right? Okay, now you can also run Tally on cloud. Okay, again, this is very important point here to understand. Okay, we can also run Tally on cloud. Okay, Tally also has the functionality to run on the cloud. Okay, but here, if you can see here, Tally IP, here it is showing as local host and the port number is 9000. Again, in some of the people, okay, in some of the Tally's profile, this port number might be different. Be it, let's say 10,000, 9,000, 9,900. So like this, you can also edit the port number here, and also you can edit the Tally IP here. So let's say if I click on edit here, okay, I can simply edit my port number, okay. Or if you are using Tally on cloud, okay, then you have to take a Tally IP code, okay. You have to take a static IP code from your Tally service provider. So they will provide the IP code, and we have to we have to add the IP code here to get synced with your Tally, which is on cloud. Okay, again, that is something which can be done. You can use TranZact on your local host. With this integration can work on local host as well. Okay, and this integration works on Tally on cloud as well. Okay, if all is okay, I'll just click on save here and I'll click on continue. So once you will click on continue here, okay, you have this again, the page is here, which is you can download master data from Tally. Again, this is in this will not go. Okay, you can get all the data from TranZact, from Tally to TranZact. Okay, which is the master data. But here in this case, we have to send voucher data to Tally. Okay, so if I click on voucher data to Tally, okay, it shows me here. Okay, no, then error again. It's an error which is showing to me, which is TDL missing error. So again, this is the second step, right? First, we have download the extension. Second is that we have to place the TDL file into Tally. So when you logged in into your extension here, and when the TDL file is not present in your Tally, okay, here it gives you an error, okay, TDL missing error, okay, TDL file is not present in your Tally. Okay, now how to get that TDL file and how to place that into your Tally? So here you have the option to click here. So you can download the TDL file from here. Okay, all the people can get the TDL from here. Okay, and once you get the TDL file, it gets downloaded into your download folder or a mini C folder, right? Okay, but once it is downloaded, okay, so you have to add that TDL file, or you have to place the TDL file in your C folder in your computer, in your my computer, in your local disk. Okay, so if I go and check into my download section here, into my this PC, 1 second. So I'll go to my C drive. Okay, so here I have created one folder which is TranZact TCP file. Okay, and यहाँ पे मैंने वो ऐड करके रखा हुआ है TCP file और the TDL file. तो जो भी TDL फाइल आप डाउनलोड करोगे, सबसे पहले तो वो डाउनलोड में आएगा आपके, है ना. डाउनलोड में आने के बाद में यू कैन मेक अ वन न्यू फोल्डर इन योर सी ड्राइव, जहां पे आप इसको प्लेस कर सकते हो. अगेन दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि डाउनलोड पे होता क्या है बहुत बार के यू कैन डिलीट ऑल द डाउनलोडेड फाइल. सो व्हेन यू विल डिलीट द डाउनलोडेड फाइल, TDL का जो लोकेशन देना है टैली के अंदर, इट गेट मिसप्लेस्ड and there is an issue and there is chances of error again. So we have to place the TDL file in such a location jahan se koi we cannot delete that. So that is why I have added in the C drive into my TranZact TCP file folder, and this file is added here. So now how to place that? So we have to just copy the location of this drive. Okay, so here I have I can just just copy here the location. 1 second. So I'll just select here. I have to give the name of the file also here. Okay, TranZact Tally TCP. So I'll put the name of the file as well here. Okay, and I'll copy the full path here. Again, Control C. Okay, I'm just copying the path of this file, of this TDL file. Okay, and then I'll go to my Tally here. Here in my Tally, we have the option here of company. Sorry, F1 help. In help, we have this TDL and add-ons. Also, we have a shortcut for it, right? Okay, but here I can go into my F1 help. In F1 help, we have this TDL and add-ons. I'll click on this TDL and add-ons. And here we have to click on F4, which is manage local TDLs. Okay, I'll put on yes here, and I have to give my location there. So I'll copy, I'll just paste my location there, which is Control Alt V. Okay, and I'll just enter it. So once it is done, Okay, here you can see the TDL file is loaded. Okay, this is the second step, what we need to do before integration. First, we have download the extension. From the extension, we can get the TDL file, okay, in our computer. And that location we have to add, or we have to paste it here into my TDL local file, right? TDL local add-ons in my Tally. Okay, now once this setup is done, I'll come back to my, let's say the main important thing, which is ledger settings, ledger mapping option. Okay, so for that ledger mapping, we have to go into my TranZact profile. So I'll go to my Chrome profile here into TranZact. Okay, here we have the module called as Tally integration. So if I click on Tally integration, you can see here a lot of tabs are coming up here, right? Or we have document approval, we have payment approval, we have journal entries. So similarly, we have this option of ledger settings. Okay, now coming to the ledger settings here. Okay, so यहाँ पे you can see on the right hand side we have sales and purchase ledgers, we have taxes ledgers, additional charges ledger, other ledgers, right? So wherever you find input, that means के वो purchase के है, and wherever you find output here in any of the ledger header, that means के those ledgers are from output, or you can say the sales ledgers. Okay, so here you can see sales and purchase ledgers. So first we have this purchase ledgers. Okay, so in my Tally, I have added import purchase and GST purchase as the ledgers of purchase. Okay, same here, I'll go for sales. Sales में जितने भी आप ledgers use करते हो, be it export sales, GST sales, OMS sales. So let's say I'm from Maharashtra. So I have just named it in a very simple way, right? Okay, GST sales, export sales, and OMS sale, which is, let's say, outside of Maharashtra sales, right? So many people have their own set of ledgers, right? Some people created ledgers, let's say sales header at 18%, sales header at 12%, right? So all the ledgers which are into the sales account, under the head of sales account into Tally, we have to map it here under the sales and purchase. So if you want to add one more additional ledger here into my sales ledger, so I can just click on this add new sales ledgers. I have to give my ledger name and I can add a new ledger. So like this, you can add all your ledgers here for purchase and sales. Same thing goes with the tax ledgers here. So these are my duties and taxes ledgers. So if I clicked on here, default tax ledgers output, that means sales invoices ledgers, right? Taxes of sales invoice. So I can also, all the taxes, right, what we use in sales invoice can be listed down here. Okay, here you can see the list of all the taxes here, and you can map the ledger in front of all the individual ledgers. So जब भी CGST 2.5 आएगा तो उसका क्या ledger होगा? Again, here all the companies have their own set of ledgers into Tally. Here, for the sake of for the simplification, right, I have added only one ledger. कि मैंने Tally में ऐसे define किया हुआ है कि जब भी CGST लगेगा, either it will be, let's say 2.5, 5%, 6% हो, 12% हो, then it should go into my output CGST. जब भी HGST लगेगा, so it should go into my output HGST. Wherever there is an IGST, it should go into my output IGST. Again, some people have their own set of ledgers, so they have to map it. Okay, we can simply, you can just click on here. So let's say if I want to map my tax equal to 20%. So I'll just go here, edit this. I can give the ledger name, description can be same as ledger name, and you can see the details here. So this is again a one-time setting, which is required, which we need to do is we have to map the individual ledgers, what we use into TranZact in all the invoices. Okay, same here, we have other ledgers as well. So we would discount ledger, we give additional discount, additional charges like freight, packing, forwarding, right? Round off ledgers, TCS ledgers, these are for purchase invoice, which is input. If I click on the other ledgers output, so these are for sales ledgers. So let's say if there is a ledger for discount in my Tally, and if I clicked here on outbound discount ledger, I have to also add it here. Okay, so the ledger is discount on sales. So in my Tally, the round off ledger on sales is discount on sales. That is why I have added here discount on sales. Okay, same goes with round off as well. If I click on round off here, so in my Tally, the round off value in sales invoice goes to round off on sales ledgers. So that is why I have mapped here into my round off ledgers. So like this, you have to map all the ledgers, जो भी आप round off के लिए use करते हो, discount के लिए, freight charges के लिए, additional charges के लिए, TCS के लिए. So all these ledgers, we have to map it here into TranZact. And again, it's a one-time setting. We don't change ledgers, right, every year. Okay, it's the same thing, right? We use same ledger for every financial year. So it's a one-time setting. What we need to do again, if anyone has any questions in ledger mapping, they can we'll connect again, and you can raise the chat here as well. Okay, so we'll again I can show you out how to map this out. Okay, same thing we have for journal entry as well. So this is the TDS ledgers. Journal entry in TranZact means the split amount or the TDS amount. Okay, so जब भी आप invoice बनाते हो, so when you split the TDS amount, so that amount will go in which ledger? So that is something again here we have to map it one time in all this ledger section. Okay, this is the first thing, and these are the three things which is a setup part. We have downloaded the Chrome extension. We have downloaded the Chrome extension. We have placed the TDL file into Tally, and the third is we have mapped the ledgers. Now all these things are done. Now the first step, right, for the integration process is from this document approval. Okay, now if I clicked on this again, if I'll go back to my Tally integration here on this, if I clicked on this module here again, so this is the homepage of Tally integration, which is the document approval. Now, what is this document approval? All the documents, not all, but all the sales invoice, purchase invoice, credit note, debit note, right, ad hoc invoice, the document, which we create here in TranZact will get listed down here into my document approval. जितने भी आप इनवॉइसेस बनाओगे ट्रांजैक्ट में, वो सारे के सारे यहाँ पे लिस्ट डाउन होके आ जाएंगे अंडर द डॉक्यूमेंट अप्रूवल. सॉरी. नाउ एंड अगेन हियर यू कैन सी देयर आर लाइक मल्टीपल टैब्स. ओके, एक फिल्टर्स दिया हुआ यहाँ पे स्टेटस का. तो जब भी आप कोई व्हेन द डॉक्यूमेंट इज क्रिएटेड राइट इनटू ट्रांजैक्ट, इट कम्स इनटू द पेंडिंग सेक्शन. सो द स्टेप इज we have to approve the ledger, we have to approve the ledger, we have to map the ledger in individual voucher level पे. ठीक है, then it get transferred from pending to approved. तो pending to approved में आने के लिए 3 steps है. There are like 3 ways, not steps, but there are like 3 ways to get it from pending to approved. One, I'll start with the first वाला क्या है कि we can go in individual one voucher. So let's say if I scroll down here, I have this first voucher, which is invoice number 106, sales का invoice है. Okay, so if I clicked on this document number, so I have to individually map the ledger here in this one voucher में. एक invoice में I have to individually select the ledger कि ये जो amount है 8430, that amount will go in which ledger? So I have to select it here from the drop down. Okay, then CGST, HGST, again that will auto map because taxes का हमने 1-to-1 mapping करके रखा हुआ है. We have mapped a 1-to-1 mapping, right? Okay, for taxes. That is why it comes automatically here. Again, let's assume that ये invoice पे, if in this invoice there is some additional charges, there is some, let's say, round off charges, there is some, you have discount charges. So we have to individually map each and everything. It's a manual process of mapping the ledger. Okay, I have to map each and everything. I have to click on approve here. Okay, we have 4 options here: pending, approve, manual, and reject. Okay, I'll select approve here because the first step is to get all the vouchers from pending to approve. Okay, so I'll approve here and I'll click on submit. This will get approved, and now this voucher will get transferred from my pending to my approved section. This is the first way of mapping the ledger, which is a manual process. Okay, one by one I'm going into each and every voucher and I'm mapping the ledger. मैं सारे voucher पे एक एक करके क्लिक करके मैं map ledger करके I can approve it. This is the first way of doing it. Now second way of doing it here is कि मैं multi select कर सकता हूँ. ठीक है, I can do a multi select here. Okay, let's say I'll just go here कि मुझे इसको flow कराना है. I want to flow this data. I want to flow this data. So I can also multi select here. Okay, the vouchers here, and by selecting this 2 vouchers, I can go to this bulk approval on top right, and I'll click on the last option, which is selected invoice. Okay, so if I clicked on selected invoice here, then here the process will be the same. Again, it will be a manual process कि मेरे को one by one सब में जा करके select करना पड़ेगा. But here you have multiple invoices in one window, or in one page. You can scroll down. So let's say approve करके I'll go down, and again यहाँ पे mapping करके I'll go down and approve it, right? So it's again a manual process of mapping the ledgers 1-to-1 into each profile. ठीक है, तो ये second way है. This is the second way of mapping the ledger. And then the last way, right, which is a very efficient way, and I would suggest everyone to go in this way only, is to map the rules. Okay, इसको automate कैसे कर सकते हैं? How we can automate this thing, right? कि I just want कि I'll just give the date and it should get automated. मतलब automatically सब कुछ हो जाए. That is the third and the last option. कि we can define the ledger rules. ठीक है, we can define the rules here. So coming to the ledger rules, we have the option here of tally rules. Okay, under the tally rules, we have 3 options here: ledger rules, voucher rules, and general rules. For now, we'll focus on only ledger rules here. Okay, now what is this ledger rule? So I have already predefined some of the rules. Okay, sales के लिए I have defined it. Okay, when there is a sales, okay, and the movement type is interstate. Okay, this is again a very important part, right, for all of you. ये एकदम ध्यान से सुनना and try to understand this thing very important, in a very good way. कि if there is a sales report, if there is a sales invoice and the movement type is interstate, ठीक है, अगर within a state का invoice है, ठीक है, तो उसका मैंने यहाँ पे लेजर डाल के रखा हुआ है, विच इज माई सॉरी ये जीएसटी सेल्स, सॉरी इंटरस्टेट है मतलब कि ओएमएस सेल्स, दैट मींस कि आउटसाइड ऑफ द स्टेट, राइट, आई एम डूइंग अ ट्रांजैक्शन विद लेट्स से अनदर स्टेट, तो एएमएस सेल्स मैंने यहाँ पे डाल के रखा हुआ है। सेम थिंग गोज विथ हियर कि लेट्स से अगर सेल्स का इनवॉइस है और इंट्रास्टेट ट्रांजैक्शन है, so then the ledger should be automatically come here as a GST sales. Okay. Now these rules can be defined in multiple ways. We have multiple columns here. So let's say मैंने movement type पे define किया है. If I'll show you my Excel, so how to define these rules? Okay, first you have to download this template. यहाँ से आप एक template download कर सकते हो ledger rule का. So once you download this ledger rule template, this is how a template comes to you. तो यहाँ पे मैंने Excel में दिखाया हुआ है. This is the Excel file. Okay. Now here we have two sheets. One is sheet 1. Second is the description sheet. तो डिस्क्रिप्शन शीट में लिखा हुआ है कि कौन से कॉलम में क्या वैल्यूज आएंगी एंड उसका मतलब क्या है, व्हाट इज द डिस्क्रिप्शन फॉर ईच एंड एवरी कॉलम एंड व्हाट आर द एक्सेप्टेड वैल्यूज इन एवरी कॉलम, सो दैट कि गलती या मिस्टेक होने के चांसेस यहाँ पे कम हो जाए। ठीक है, सो आई विल शो यू हाउ आई हैव डिफाइंड माय रूल्स। टाइप में आई हैव पुट आइटम हियर, एवरी टाइम यू नो बाय डिफॉल्ट यू हैव टू पुट आइटम हियर। रूल टाइप में आई हैव पुट सेल्स, कि मैं सेल्स के रूल्स डिफाइन कर रहा हूँ। ठीक है, नाउ आई हैव डिसाइडेड माय रूल्स ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ मूवमेंट टाइप, इंट्रास्टेट एंड इंटरस्टेट, और ये लेजर के नाम यहाँ पे है। Some of you want to map this ledger or map these ledgers on the basis of tax percentage. So let's say sales है, I'll give an example here. Let's say third option है item. Let's say sales है. I don't want to do it on movement type. Let's say I want to do on tax percentage. कि जब भी अगर टैक्स 18% हो सेल्स के वाउचर में, जैसे I'll put accepted values, तो इसी तरीके से मुझे लिखना पड़ेगा। ओके, टैक्स इक्वल टू, तो ये I'll just copy from here, Control C. Let's go to my sheet 1. So let's say जब भी सेल्स का वाउचर है and if the tax is 18%, I can define my ledger name here. कि let's say ledger आना चाहिए sales at the rate 18%. Okay, like this you can also define your rules. ठीक है, तो आप this is like a customization, right? Okay, जैसे आप यूज करते हो आपके टैली में, the same way I can map my all ledgers here. तो जरूरी नहीं है कि एक ही कॉलम पे रूल सेट होगा। इफ यू वांट कि इंटरस्टेट है और टैक्स 18% हो तो आना चाहिए, दैट कैन आल्सो बी डन। सो यू कैन डू अ वेरियस पीएनसीज हियर। इफ यू डोंट वांट अ मूवमेंट टाइप और टैक्स, आपको आइटम आईडी पे डालना है, आप आइटम आईडी पे भी डाल सकते हो। ठीक है, you can also set the rule on the basis of product category, but again यहाँ पे we need to understand that कि we can automate this ledger mapping process, क्योंकि सबका फिक्स्ड होता है कि इंटरस्टेट ट्रांजैक्शन होगा या 18% टैक्स का होगा तो ये लेजर आना चाहिए, 12% का होगा तो ये लेजर आना चाहिए, राइट? दोस थिंग्स कैन बी मैप्ड हियर फॉर परचेज एंड फॉर सेल्स एज वेल, फॉर बोथ द ट्रांजैक्शन दैट कैन बी डन। ठीक है, तो दिस इज वन ऑफ द थिंग, दिस इज अ थर्ड वे टू मैप द लेजर एंड टू गेट दिस थिंग ऑटोमेटेड। तो ये ऑटोमेशन चलेगा कैसे, हाउ दिस ऑटोमेशन वर्क? ओके, फर्स्ट वे आई हैव शोन टू यू कि मैं इंडिविजुअल वाउचर में जा रहा हूँ, या आई सिलेक्ट मल्टी, आई कैन मल्टी सिलेक्ट हियर। इन द थर्ड वे आई नीड टू डू नथिंग हियर, आई जस्ट गो इनटू माय डॉक्यूमेंट बल्क अप्रूवल, आई सिलेक्ट सेल्स इनवॉइस ऑटो, सेकंड ऑप्शन सेल्स इनवॉइस ऑटो। ठीक है, एंड आई जस्ट पुट द स्टार्ट डेट एंड द एंड डेट, कि मुझे कब से लेके कब तक के डेटा को उस ऑटोमेशन में लेना है। सो लेट्स से आई पुट हियर कि आई वांट फ्रॉम 1st of November और लेट्स से 1st of December से लेते हैं, 1st of December to 8th of December। इस पीरियड के बीच में जितने भी इनवॉइसेस बने हैं, आई वांट टू मैप द लेजर ऑटोमेटिकली एंड आई विल कंटिन्यू इट। सो वंस यू विल कंटिन्यू इट, see automatically it will get completed, and previously in the approved section only one invoice was there, but now it is all the 8 invoices which follows into that rule. Okay, which is which follow that rule will come here into my approved section. This is the third and the last way of mapping the ledger. Okay, so this is the first step to start the tally integration. Okay, I'm talking about the step, not the setup part, the steps, right? This is the first steps. Okay, we have to map the ledger. Ledger mapping can be done one by one, multi-option, and then this by setting up the rules. Okay, so once rule is defined, so the ledger, all the vouchers will get transferred from pending to approved section, and once the vouchers are there in the approved section, then you can go to a tally reports here. Then the second steps, now I'm starting the second step here. Okay, so once the ledger is, all the vouchers are approved, I'll go into my tally reports here, and from tally reports you will get the list of all the reports, the list of all the data points which we can flow from TranZact to tally. So we can flow sales voucher, we can transfer purchase voucher, receipt voucher, payment voucher, credit note, debit note, journal entries, and also the stock movement. Okay, the movement which is happening in the stock, right? When we are doing any changes in the stock, that can also be transferred. Okay, So now for now here, what I'll do is, okay, I'll generate my sales register extension. Okay, so I'll click on sales register extension here. It shows me a pop-up. Again, here you can select the date. कि कौन से date के आपको data flow निकालना है. Now again here the data will come only from the approved section from document approval, not from the pending option. जिसका हमने लेजर मैपिंग कंप्लीट किया है, सिर्फ वही वाउचर यहाँ पे मुझे इस रिपोर्ट के थ्रू आएगी. So let's say if I select today's date only, कि मुझे आज की चाहिए from 8 of to let's say 8 of December. Okay, and these are optional things, but the only the mandatory information which we need to give here is the voucher number. So always keep this in mind कि we have to put voucher number as 1. हमेशा आपको यहाँ पे voucher number 1 रखना है. Okay, and we have to generate the report. This is the second step. Once the ledger mapping is done, then we'll generate the report here. Once the report is generated, okay, you will get the Excel file here. So I will open up my Excel file. This is how, you know, all the vouchers from in today's date, right, which is on 8 of December, it shows me here into my sales, into my this Excel file. Now we have total of 5 vouchers. Okay, so we have total of 5 vouchers here. Okay, here you can see all the data. Again here, no, you can see all the data for the invoices which will come here into this Excel. सारा data यहाँ पे Excel में कौन party है, कौन supplier है, कौन buyer है. So all the data will get here into my Excel file. Every single thing. Okay. Now one more thing which is very important, you know, just to understand here, the last column in this Excel file, okay, will have a TranZact ID. You don't need to do any change here in this TranZact ID. Remember this point again. This TranZact ID is important just to keep a track कि कौन सा voucher flow हुआ है नहीं हुआ है ना, just to get the log of each and everything on the back end. Okay, this TranZact ID is very important. So you do not, no, we cannot change this, or you know, we have to avoid this thing कि कोई जा करके ये TranZact ID को कुछ change कर दे. This column, especially this column, TranZact ID. Okay, so we have to keep as it is this TranZact ID. Okay. And so let's say we have 5 vouchers. I'll just take 1 or maybe let's say 2 for now. Okay, I'll just delete these 3 vouchers, these 3 rows. So I'll take 2. Okay. Now I'm using a tally into my educational mode. Okay. So in educational mode only, you know, I can take first or the last date of the month. So let's say, no, I have to change the date here manually. So let's say I'll put here a 0 of, you don't need to change the date. Okay. In your system, you don't need to do any changes here. I'm changing it into my Excel file because I'm using tally in educational mode. In educational mode, okay, it works only first and 31st of the month. So I'll just paste everywhere where it is date. Control V and Control V. Yeah, so I'll just change the date of all the, you know, date where is there. I'll just save the file. Okay. Again, one more thing, you know, we have this meeting will get end in just less than 1 minute. So we have to again rejoin due to some issues with my Zoom account. Okay, I have a limit of 40 minutes. So we have to again rejoin the same link. I'll wait for 2 to 3 minutes to all the people to join back in the same session, and then I'll show you out how to flow this data, because I think it's a 20-30 second left. Okay, so please once the meeting gets ended, please join on the same link to rejoin back in the session, and that will just take 10 or more 15 minutes to conclude or to complete the session. Okay, so here the second steps gets completed. Okay, once we have the data with us in Excel, that means the second steps is completed. Only now the third step which is remaining, that is we have to go into our extension and we have to upload this tally file or this Excel file, sorry. Okay, so I'll start. Okay, I think a lot of people have joined back. 1 second, I'll go to my Excel file. Yeah. So here, we the second steps gets completed, right? Which is we have get the data which is needed, right? Now it might be possible you have 50 voucher in one file, okay, 100 vouchers in one file. So that can be done. It is not like we can only transfer 2 or 5 data at one time. No. So if in the week, let's say you have created 50 vouchers in TranZact and you want to flow the same data into Tally, that can be done. You can flow that amount of data as well. Okay, so going back to the third step and the final step, once we have this data with us, so I'll go to my extension here into my Chrome browser. Okay, here we have this TranZact Tally. Okay, so let's say I have placed the TDL. So I have checked the TDL file and I'll click on continue here to upload the data file. Okay, now here on this screen, right, you have the option to choose the file. On the left hand side, you can see there is an option to choose the file. So if I clicked on choose here, you can select the file from this one. So I'll select from my download option here from my PC. I'll click on open here. Okay. Now here, okay, we have the option again to select the document type. So under the document type, as I mentioned, we can flow 8 data points, right? We can flow purchase, sales, receipt, payment. So let's say this is my sales voucher. These are my sales voucher. Okay. So I'll simply click here, sales voucher. Now, once you select sales voucher, again, here the option or the button gets enabled, which is validate file. Now, what is this validation all about, right? What is this validation? So if I click on validate file here, now the system checks, okay, if any of the party, if any of the counterparty, let's say, okay, which is there in TranZact but not in Tally, it shows you here in the error option. Okay, again, it also checks, okay, if the item which is available, okay, in TranZact but not in Tally, it gives you the list of all the items here as well. Okay, but let's say if everything is there in both TranZact and Tally, it will not give you any error here, and you can simply click on create new vouchers. Okay, so if I clicked on create new vouchers, I'll show you one of the voucher as well where we have the error. Okay, I'll just show you for a better clarification. Just give me a second. I think one second. I'll download again that file. TranZact Tally integration. Document approval 8 FCB technologies. So let me download the report again. Okay, I'll take one of the generate the report. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll delete this middle 3 rows. Okay, I'll keep this 2. One for Balaji Corporation and one for, let's say, FCB Technologies. Okay, let me change the date quickly. Okay, so the name of the file is sales register 1. Okay, so I'll go to my extension here. I'll refresh it one more time. I'll select the file, which is the new file, which is sales register 1, this file. And I'll click on open here. Okay, document type, I'll select sales voucher and then I'll click on validate file. Now, when this validation happens, see, here we have the report, right? Stock creation report. That is, it is showing that this item, which is polyglass sand blue, is missing in Tally. Because again, कि बहुत बार ऐसे होगा कि आप when you will start using TranZact, you will create all the items in TranZact, not in Tally. So मतलब कि Tally में नहीं होगा, but TranZact में you will start creating your own new items here. Same goes with the counterparty as well. कि जब भी when you will start using TranZact, तो जितने भी नए orders आएंगे, when you will have your new clients, so you will create those client details as well into TranZact. Okay, so यहाँ पे if this data is not present into Tally, okay, you will get the list of all the items and all the counterparties here. But the good part is okay, here you have the option to approve it. Okay, so by approving this data, let's say if I want to approve, if I click on approve here, automatically this polyglass sand blue will get created into my Tally with all the details, unit of measurement, the stock name and everything. Okay, same goes with the data report here as well. Okay, so let's say अगर ये company missing है, FCB Technologies Private Limited, let's say it is not there into my Tally. But if I click on approve here, so automatically this details, this company will also get added into my Tally. Okay, so यहाँ पे again there is no duplication of work, right? Okay, first we have to go and create the ledger with the name of this polyglass sand blue and FCB Technologies. Nothing to do that. Okay, you will get the list of all the items which is missing. You will get the list of all the buyers which are missing. You have to just approve it, and automatically that data will get created into my Tally. Okay, one more option here is that if the accounting ledger is missing. So my meaning of this accounting ledger, that means के sales का कोई ledger, purchase का, duties and taxes का, अगर वो ledger missing है, if there is a mismatch in the name of that ledger, right, then here you will get the error, but वो बनाने का option नहीं आएगा. You will not able to approve it directly from this extension. First, you have to do the correction either in Tally or TranZact, and then you can do this integration. But अगर company है या stock name है, then automatically the data gets created. Okay, so once it is done, then here you will have the option to create new vouchers. Okay, here you have the option to create new vouchers. Okay, if I clicked on create new vouchers, now this data, this will take few of the seconds. Okay, and if you scroll down here, you will get the report. 1 second. Okay, data is created. So here, this is my tally creation report. So let's say you have 50 invoices, you will get to know here out of 50, how many are created. You can also click on this report summary here. The total vouchers were 2, how many are failed, how many are ignored, or total vouchers were, let's say, successful, which is 2. Okay, now this data gets created into tally, and now you can go and check the data into tally. So if I'll go, remember this invoice number, which is 102 and 106. Okay, so if I'll go into my tally prime here, I'll go to just my stock register, right? Accounts book, let's say sales register. I think we have flown the data in the 1st of December. So if you can see here in the December, we have this entries. If I clicked here, you can see here 3 vouchers are already there. One was previously, I think it was there here. But yes, now we have created 2 more voucher, which is 102 and 106. So if you will open any of the voucher, okay, let's say I'll open this voucher. So this will be same, right? Jaise aap manually create karte ho, this will be the same. Okay, here you can see the invoice number, the party account name, the sales ledger was OMS sales. Okay, the item name, the quantity, the rate, and everything, the GST, the duties and tax ledger, right? All those things will be in place here into this voucher. But one more thing here, if you see on the on the bottom left hand side, we have TranZact ID here, which is in place. Okay, that is why TranZact is very important, because here you will get to know, okay, this data has been flown from, this data has been migrated from TranZact. Okay, and then in the narration you have all the option here, which is PO. If you have added the PO number in the sales invoice, that will get reflected here. Invoice number, invoice date, and this narration can be changed if you want to. So there are a lot of options, a customization option, which I'll show you at the end of this session. Okay, how we can customize some of the options here when we flow data from TranZact to tally. So this is the last step, right? Okay, when we have the data with us in Excel, we can just directly flow the data with the help of using extension. And this is how the data get transferred here into tally. Also with this TranZact ID and the narration here. Okay, so this is like this is how you can transfer all the purchase invoice, sales invoice coming back to my TranZact screen here. If I'll go to my TranZact tally integration, in the same way, you can transfer all sales voucher, purchase invoice, receipt register, right? Payment register, this credit note, debit note. The process is same. Okay, but the mapping, the way to start the first step, right? Okay, for documentation purpose, for all the invoices, credit note, debit note, we have to map the ledger here under the document approval. Okay, but here we have payment approval also. So in the payment approval, you can see all the payments. So if you log the payment here in TranZact against all the purchase and sales invoices, that comes here into my payment approval. That will not go into my document approval. So all the payment received will come into my payment approval here, and which automatically gets approved here. So here we have to eliminate the first step, which is ledger mapping, because here I'm not mapping out any ledger for the payment, right? If I flow the data of payment to tally, it will go against the invoices, right? Okay, so that is we don't have to map the ledger here into this payment approval. Okay, I missed one thing here. Okay, so if you remember, we have sent 2 data points right here into from TranZact to tally, which also gets completed here. It comes into my completed sections here. Okay, it automatically come into my completed section. If I'll refresh it 1 second, it should come here. So previously it was 8, but I think they have flown. We have. Yeah, check here. So previously, there was 8 documents right into my approved section, but currently if I'll refresh it, right, it is showing me in 6 here. So that 2 vouchers, voucher number 102 and voucher number 106, will get transferred automatically. If the TDL file is in place into your tally, that data will get transferred from approved to complete here automatically in this completed section. So here you can see in the completed section, I have 102 and 106. So again, there is no chance to transfer the data again, right? Okay, the same voucher number again back to tally. तो यहाँ पे क्या होगा, डुप्लीकेशन भी vouchers का नहीं होगा into tally. जो डेटा आपने फ्लो करा दिया, that will go into my completed section. And जब भी अब next time मैं report निकालूंगा from tally reports, that data will not come. As I mentioned here, in the reports, the data comes from only in the approved section. ठीक है. तो या पेमेंट अप्रूवल में you can just eliminate all those things, the ledger mapping and everything. You can go to directly tally report. You can get the data for all the receipt and payment, and you can flow the data. Same goes here with journal entries. So what you mean by journal entries here in TranZact? Journal entries are the splitted document entries. So for example, if I split a TDS amount in my invoices, right? I think we usually do, right, in purchase invoice when we take any service. So we split TDS of 2% or 10%. So that amount, right, of 2% or 10% will go as a journal voucher into Tally. Okay. So here we have to map the ledger. Okay. We have the TDS ledgers, right? So first we have to map the ledger in ledger setting, and then the process is same. We have to map the ledger. We have to get the data through Excel file, through Tally reports, and then we can upload the file into my extension. Okay. And the last point of the session is this Tally rules. Okay. I think we have seen the general Tally ledger rules here, right? How to map and how to add the ledger rules here. But in this, we have three options. We have voucher rules as well. Some of the people have different vouchers name. Okay. Let's say for sales, we have this sales ABC. For again, we have different vouchers rules. So we can also define voucher rules here, depending on the store name or the document series or the product category. This can also be done. Okay. Let's say मेरा अलग एक location है, तो इस location का let's say we defined a sales voucher as sales ABC store का. Second store है, let's say Mumbai का store है, so I'll put here as sales voucher name as a sales Mumbai. So that can also be set. That can also be done. Okay. And the third thing which is there here, which is general rules. So as I mentioned, right, okay, some of the customization can be done, when we flow the data from TranZact to Tally. So customization as in like, some of the people wants के purchase के invoice पे invert का date आ जाए, या stock का name जो है उसके साथ में part number भी आ जाए. So those things are present here into this general rules. Okay. So we have total of 55 rules जहाँ पे you can see कि क्या-क्या changes हम लोग कर सकते हैं. जैसे voucher का name में अगर change करना है, stock के name में change करना है, if you want to change into narration of your purchase invoice, if you want to change the narration of your sales invoice, right? So those things can be done from this general rule. Cost center अगर आपको डालना है, तो cost center can also be added here. Okay. Sales effective date. So a lot of, because when we see the data into Tally, right, we have multiple options there. Part number है, go down है, locations है, right? So those things can be set from here in a general rule. And when we get the Excel data, okay, it will come here as the rules what we have set into this Tally integration. तो जैसे आप रूल सेट करोगे उस हिसाब से आपका डेटा बन के आएगा एक्सेल फाइल में और वो डेटा जाएगा इनटू टैली. ठीक है. तो ये ऐसे यहाँ पे 55 रूल्स है जहां पे आप सेट कर सकते हो सारा कुछ. ठीक है. तो yeah, so this was all about the integration process. We have seen like how to set up the entire integration process, downloading the Chrome extension, placing the TDL file, ledger mapping. Then we have seen the integration process like in a step way, right? Okay, first we have to go to document approval, from where we can do the ledger mapping. Then we can get the data into reports, and then that report can be uploaded into an extension from where the data gets migrated from TranZact to Tally. And this is the automation which is there. So in case if anyone has any questions with respect to this session, right, what we have seen in today's session, please raise the chat. Okay, I think we have few chats, so I'll answer one by one each and every queries. Stock movement, sir. Stock movement is something, so let's say if you are a production company, right, and if you see again, stock movement is something which is required and which when we want to manage the inventory on Tally as well. Okay, since we are using TranZact, right, for inventory management, but again, if you want to manage the inventory on Tally as well, in that case, we have to flow the stock movement. So how the stock movement data flows? Okay, let's say when we purchase any of the item, okay, then we do a consumption of the same item in the production process. So as you all know, right, okay, there is an inventory approval for all the things, right? When something is going in or something is coming out, right, from the inventory, there is an inventory approval. So जो स्टॉक मूवमेंट का जो डेटा है वो इन्वेंट्री अप्रूवल से आता है. कितना आपने प्लस किया स्टॉक, कितना आपने माइनस किया, दैट विल गो फ्रॉम ट्रांजैक्ट टू टैली. बट अगेन वहां पे लेजर नेम होने चाहिए एवरीथिंग, तो दैट कैन बी फ्लो, मतलब वो फ्लो हो जाएगा. उसके क्वांटिटी जो है आप डाल सकते हो एंड यू कैन सी द डेटा इनटू टैली इन स्टॉक आइटम ग्रुप.
Whether material consumption that accounted.
Material, Jai Kishan ji, if you can unmute yourself and if you can just, define, if you can just explain your query in a bit detail, what you mean by this accounting part of the material consumption.
See, means based on bill of materials, whatever the material which is getting consumed,
right?
Once the production happens for the finished goods. So for that consumption, whether that consumption gets accounted through this tally integration or in the tally.
So that is something, which can be done from stock movement.
From stock movement.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, here we have the option, right? Stock movement register extension. Okay. So here, let's say if I'll put, for example, date from 1st of December. Okay, voucher number, let's say I'll put 1 here, and if I'll generate the report, so you will get the Excel file here, stock movement. Now here you can see. Okay, you have these items, what we have used in the production, what is the quantity in, quantity out, the rate and everything is in place here, amount and everything. So that will go into a tally as an accounting, which can be used for an accounting.
Okay.
So here, you can see this data is there, for in the stock movement register.
So the same means the inventory has to be there in tally as well in that case.
If you want to manage the inventory, right, in tally, then you can flow this data, stock movement register. But let's say, no, see, a lot of people are using TranZact for managing the inventory, right? Okay, because you can see everything here in tally. And they just want to push the data for the accounting point, not an inventory point of, but they just want a data for the accounting point of view, right, in tally, which is voucher, all the sales invoice, purchase invoice, payment and receipt. But yes, we do have the option. If you want to manage inventory also for all the items in tally, then you can flow this data. That will also settle up your accounts, inventory.
Okay.
So can you tell how this bank voucher will work in this? I mean, if we have to pass the bank voucher, payment and receipt.
So bank voucher, see here the payment, right? What you will log here in TranZact against any of the sales invoice or purchase invoice, that will go as a payment or receipt entry. That is not connected to any of the bank. Okay, because see, when you log the payment here, you can select the bank details as well. As we see in TranZact, we don't have a bank reconciliation for now. Okay, so here you have, once you receive the payment against the sales invoice, I'll show you one entry for 1 second. I'll show you one of the entry. I'll go to my tally. So let's download a receipt register extension. Okay, what data comes here, I'll show you out. So I'll put creation date again. From 1st of November, I think that should be the date. So in this report, you can see the payment which is logged against the sales invoice. Yeah. Here you can see the data, okay, the reference against which invoice number we have logged the payment, and the bank what we have selected here, okay, in which bank we have received the money, that will come as a bank section. So that will go as a receipt, a normal entry in tally. Okay.
So payment और receipt voucher हम यहाँ पे पास कर सकते हैं और वो टैली में ऑटोमेटिक चला जाएगा. बैंक की रिकंसिलिएशन वाला पार्ट मेरा टैली में कंप्लीट हो जाएगा.
हाँ, टैली में कंप्लीट वो टैली में हो जाएगा. बट यहाँ पे अगर हम पेमेंट लॉक करते हैं, ठीक है, वो जो एंट्रीज है ना, वो आप टैली में भेज सकते हो विद ऑल दिस डिटेल्स, कंप्लीट डिटेल्स.
तो सर मुझे इसमें खाली सेल का इनवॉइस डालना है, परचेज का इनवॉइस डालना है और बैंक का वोचर पास करना है, रिसीट और पेमेंट का, और ये मेरा सारा डेटा टैली में चला जाएगा. मैं टैली में डबल एंटर करने का जरूरत नहीं है. नहीं, बिल्कुल जरूरत नहीं है. इसमें क्रेडिट नोट भी आएगा, डेबिट नोट अगर आप बनाते हो कभी, लेट्स से इनवॉइस के केस में, वो सब डेटा जाएगा. ठीक है, वो आप भेज सकते हो सारा, वो सब इधर से करने का है. बस सेल और परचेज से रिलेटेड जो भी कोई वोचर है, डेबिट नोट क्रेडिट नोट, वो यहाँ से पास करने का. राइट, उसकी डबल एंट्री करने की जरूरत नहीं है टैली में. सर इसमें कोई थोड़ा एक एजिंग एनालिसिस दिखा सकते हैं स्टॉक का और डेटर्स का, रिसीवेबल और पेबल एंड सर वो ट्रांजैक्ट में आता है सारा कुछ. ये सेशन इज नॉट अबाउट ट्रांजैक्ट, है ना. हम करेंगे. इसमें एजिंग रिपोर्ट आता है ट्रांजैक्ट में. देयर इज अ रिपोर्ट कॉल्ड एज क्रेडिटर्स एजिंग रिपोर्ट या डेटर्स एजिंग रिपोर्ट. तो आप वो देख लेना. अगर ये डाउट्स है ना ट्रांजैक्ट के आपको, आप चैट पे, हमारे पास है ना एक ऑप्शन है यहाँ पे,
कि आप यहाँ से गेट हेल्प पे क्लिक करके आप इस पे क्लिक करोगे ना, यहाँ पे चार्ट ट्रेस कर सकते हो। तो यहाँ पे आपको जो भी है ना, जैसे कि आपको नहीं दिख रहा है ट्रांजैक्ट में कि ये चीज कहाँ मिलेगी, कैसे मिलेगी, है ना, तो यू कैन ऑलवेज रेज अ चैट फ्रॉम हियर कि मुझे एजिंग रिपोर्ट देखना है ना। जैसे मैं अगर आपको दिखा दूं एग्जांपल, यहाँ पे रिपोर्ट है, बट आई विल नॉट गो इनटू दैट बिकॉज हमारा सेशन इज ऑल अबाउट टैली इंटीग्रेशन, ठीक है। तो यहाँ पे एक रिपोर्ट है, क्रेडिटर्स एजिंग इन्फो रिपोर्ट, देखो पहला ही रिपोर्ट आ रहा है, सेकंड रिपोर्ट, ठीक है। तो वो रिपोर्ट में यू विल गेट द फुल एजिंग कंप्लीट, क्रेडिटर्स का सेम डेटर्स का भी आएगा, मतलब आप देख सकते हो, ठीक है।
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. I have a small doubt. When I have uploaded the created new vouchers,
Okay.
there is unit mismatch for one item, one stock item.
Okay.
So how can I rectify that to upload that particular, bill invoice?
Okay, again, so it's a very good question. I want to address this issue, right? Okay, so what happened is, let's say, when we use tally, right? Okay, we have added some of the items, right, with all the unit of measurements and all the details of that item. Okay, and when we started, when we start TranZact, I think we also create new items here. So we also have the option ke tally say you can get the data into TranZact uploadable format. Okay, let's say if you're a new user now, okay, so while uploading the data, you can match the data of TranZact and tally so that there will be no issues in the integration. Okay, let's say if there is an issue, okay, some of the items have some issues, right? Okay, so what you can do is either you can rectify it into, let's say, TranZact. About TranZact menu, you can do a one-time change. Okay, you can just raise a ticket or you can just raise a chat from here. These are the items having issues in my unit of measurement, so we have to fix this out. Second way of doing it for the just for the integration purpose. Okay, let's say abhi I'm stuck. Okay, I'm not able to do the integration process. What I'll do is in Excel file, right? I think we generate the Excel file from here.
Yes.
Okay, so here you have the unit of measurement, right, for the item.
Yes.
For the sake of just to complete the integration, I'll just make the change here in the unit of measurement, which is there into my tally. Okay. And I'll just upload the file. But it's not the correct way of doing it. The correct way of to identify all those items having the unit of measurement mismatch in TranZact and tally, okay, and to get rectified and correct the same, either in tally or in TranZact.
Okay, that would be
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Any other questions if anyone has? So first, I think all of you, if you are not using this integration process, please start it. You can just set up the rules and everything. If you need any help from our end, you can always raise a chat, and we are just a minute away with you. So you will get the assistance in just 1 minute. Okay. And first start with a basic flow. First try to flow one data point, one data, sales data, right? Be it sales or purchase invoice. Once you have the data with you in tally, once the voucher is completed, just figure it out what is missing. Okay, how the data is flowing and what is missing. If you feel right anything is missing in that voucher, you can just note it down and you can again get back to us, right? Okay, these things are missing into my tally integration. Okay, I want to manage this data as well. So as I mentioned, we have the rules, so we can make the changes, and that data will also get passed into tally. So I'll request everyone, okay, just to start this integration process, so that it helps in reducing the manual errors, and there will be no duplication of work for all the accountants, especially for the accountants, right?
Yeah, hi, I have one question.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we have just started using TranZact, okay?
Okay.
And we have completed production, inventory, and all other modules.
Okay.
Now we are trying to flow data. Basically, we are the beginning of flowing the data to Tally. Okay. So what strategy we thought was that we will only move invoicing data to from TranZact to Tally for accounting purpose.
Right. Okay.
That is, I think, bare minimum you can move, right?
Right.
To do counting, right?
Right.
So to do the bare minimum, I don't want materials because everything is taken care in TranZact. To do the bare minimum movement, which documents needs to be moved for accounting purpose?
So see, for the accounting purpose, you have to move sales invoice, purchase invoice, payment, if you are logging the payment here in TranZact. Okay. And
we are planning to log payments.
Yeah,
here,
right.
yes.
Okay. So that payment register, receipt register, And if you're creating a credit or a debit note, so these are the 6 documents which is required and must. Okay.
Okay, and to move these 6 documents, definitely ledgers has to be mapped, right?
So it's a one-time setting, right? Okay, again. So see, again, if you don't want to do a one-to-one mapping, right, going into one-to-one ledgers, right? So you can just prepare an Excel file. These are my purchase ledgers. These are my sales ledgers. These are my duties and taxes ledgers. No, I'll give you. So what I'll do is now everyone who are there in the session, I'll share you one format. Okay. Okay. In which format, if you want to upload the data, we'll do it for you. Okay.
Okay.
So the ledger will automatically get mapped here into the system in just one click. Okay. That
yeah, what is the frequency we have to do after this? Like, suppose we are creating reports. So is it like before report generation, or is there like automatic regular
it's up to you, sir.
job? Yeah.
It's up to you. See, I suggest you to do it on a weekly basis. Okay.
Yeah.
If you have, let's say, 20 to 30 invoices in a week, so you can do it on a weekly basis. Okay. Many of my customers, I know they do it on, let's say, on daily basis as well. Okay, let's say they come in the morning and all the invoices which is created, let's say on last day, they'll just get the file and they'll upload the file. That's it, simple. Because everything is done, right? Ledger mapping and everything is done. They have the rules defined, automation is there, right? So they have to just download the file and upload in the extension, and all the data will get moved to Tally.
Maybe once a week for us is now okay.
Yeah. So if you have the frequency of creating the invoices less, the number of count of invoices, let's say, is less, let's say in a week, 10 to 12 invoices, then you can do it on a weekly basis.
Okay. So got your point. Thank you.
So I've got one question. Can we upload old data to TranZact with material from vendor with purchase invoice rates with sales data? No, sir, Mr. RD. We can get the data from Tally to TranZact for all the creditors and debtors and for all the items. But we won't be able to migrate the data of the vouchers from Tally to TranZact. So for that purpose, we have to upload the opening balances here or the opening stock in TranZact. But we won't be able to get the old data from Tally to TranZact.
Like can I get which item?
All the items.
From which
all
vendor?
the items. All the items. All the raw materials, finished good, right? So it gets fetched. The material gets fetched from all the purchase invoice, sales invoices you had created, let's say, in the last 1 year. And so as I shown you right here in the extension, 1 second. What is my extension? I'll just refresh it 1 second. Go back to connection 1 second. So I'll do my connection, let's say. So here you have 2 options, right? Send voucher data to Tally, download master data from Tally. This option will help you out to get the data for the last 6 months or for the last 12 months. So if you want to download, let's say, the data for the last 6 months from your Tally, all the items, okay? So here you can just click and you will get the data in TranZact uploadable format. Simple.
Okay.
Okay. Same here, download master. If you click on this download master option, you will get the data for all your creditors and debtors, okay, into TranZact uploadable format from Tally. Okay. So yeah, I think that's it from my side for today's. Okay. So again, once you will start using this integration process, if you have any questions, any queries, right, you can just reach out to us. We'll help you out in setting up this full integration process just to avoid the manual intervention and to reduce the time, especially for all the accountants, right? So this will get sorted out. So thank you so much for having me. Have a great day all, and bye-bye.